What is up, everybody? It is 12:34 a.m. on whatever day it is right now. I honestly don't remember. What I do know is there was a bunch of Fusion Rocket League, and we officially have our final teams for the main event. This video, we're going to be going over the closed qualifiers, the rest of the lower brackets, and kind of things to look forward to and things you might have missed like we did the day before. I'm actually going to be out of town this coming weekend, so I will not be home to stream or anything else, but we still will have daily videos to look forward to. It's going to give you guys a preview of what those are going to be. Sunday today will be the recap. Tomorrow on Monday will be the 10K subscriber thank you video, where we do a little bit of a story time. And then Tuesday, the one I'm really excited about, is actually going to be the Brawl Invitational aftermovie made by Doomsy. So massive shouts for that one. Hope you guys enjoy that. And last but not least, before we get into the video, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to give it a thumbs up as it helps me out greatly, as well as leave any questions, comments, concerns down below. And make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single daily video. But with that said, let's get right into the recap. It's another long and exciting day of Rocket League. We're going to be covering EU first on the left-hand side, and then we'll cover the lower bracket on the right-hand side. I'm just going to leave these all open and try to crush through these. I don't want to make it a super long video like I did last time. Everything started in losers round 2. So being completely honest, I did not get to see a lot of the matches for Europe as I woke up relatively late after being up late making a video. Two major things I want to focus on. Number one, all the teams that are in losers round 4 that had the high seed, so meaning that they were in the qualifying match, lost, and then had to wait until the next day, they did not make it through. The teams with the warm-ups are the ones that are able to qualify for the main event. The other big thing I want to focus on for Europe is there was a DQ for a team by the name of Momentum Shifters. For those that don't know that team, it is Brownie, Ali, and Impressive. And if you guys remember yesterday during the recap, or the couple days ago during the recap, Ali was the player in ones that we're really impressed by, that were like, okay, you know, he's making Euros to actually fight for it, like games are playing close, and this is exciting. Turns out, through a couple of mentions and Twitter stuff, and I'll try to leave links to that in the description below of the kind of the things that were found out. But apparently they played with somebody who was not Ali. He was not available to play in those matches, and rather than just DQing and being like, hey, he's not available, we can't play, they brought in another player by the name of TRK511, who is a pretty high-level player. I looked up his RL tracker stats and stuff, and he hovers around like 2K MMR, which is nothing to slouch at. Pretty solid ones player, so they end up using him, and he starts playing significantly better, and the way they ended up finding out was his Discord was having him display like he's in-game, and it showed like his results, and it coincided with the matches that were going on streams. People kind of put 2 and 2 together, end up finding out, and then eventually Impressive actually mentioned the fact that yes, this is happening. And the thing that really frustrates me about this one is not only is it something that they've done more than once, this is the second time it's happening, but it's also poor representation of your region. See Sandrock Gaming trying to make a name for their region and trying to do whatever they can for Saudi Arabia area, and they prove that you have the competition and the skills to do it, but then you go and do this and it kind of taints the opinion of it. It just leaves a bad taste in your mouth despite all the things that they're trying to do to improve the region or give the region chances. So Saudi Arabia team doing some things that it stinks because it might taint the results of Sandrock Gaming, but I know a lot of people are really excited that Sandrock Gaming has made it through into the main event. The other teams that are going to be joining them, though, Team Singularity, Dignitas does manage to bounce back after losses early, Tree of a Kind, and then Solary. Pretty even mix for the main event matches between RLCS and RLRS and other. Although I would argue that out of all of these being RLCS, Sandrock Gaming, if had the opportunity, would probably be 2. So you're talking, what, 6 RLCS and then 2 non. So either way, pretty exciting. But I think Stormtroopers do really, really well. That was the one we kind of mentioned earlier yesterday or the day before, that this format I think is really going to benefit them. So exciting to watch them. Stormtroopers is probably my wildcard pick. Keep an eye out for them. Moving over now to North America, the first match that I covered on stream was Divine versus Flight, and Divine looked pretty dang good. Flight just doesn't seem to be clicking in any capacity, and that's doubled down by the fact that Divine is playing extremely well, moving on and qualifying all the way through over United as well as over Mirage. So beating RLRS teams and RLCS teams. If you guys don't know, J-Russ goes by J period in game. Stellar performance by him, very talented player in ones. Quite honestly, Rapid's really the only one that looked like he was playing too well. And maybe it helps that he was in all 3 of the games, so maybe it's just a recency bias thing, but Quite honestly, like, it did not matter. And then when he went up against J-Ross just kind of had his way with it. Second match I ended up covering on stream was Plot Twist versus Sup. This was Plot Twist with Toroko and Mektos going against Forky, Money, and Daniel. Daniel being a 13-year-old, very young gun. A lot of people kept changing his name. He's actually, to my knowledge, 16, almost turning 17. But the chat basically ended up making more and more memes as the day went, saying like, oh, you know, super proud of Daniel, turned 13 today, blah, blah, blah. And then the copy paste was like, yo, really proud of Daniel. He took his first steps today. He's growing up to be big and strong. And it just kept going. So a lot of memes from chat, a lot of friends in chat. So we appreciate you guys being there. But yeah, Plot Twist, Toroko and Mektos, really strong tandem and duos. And they ultimately ended up falling to Affinity because of those one-minute matches. Toroko gave it a shot, then Mektos gave it a shot, or vice versa, but it didn't work. But during one of those matches, this shot was hit. Papa Pie gets the flip reset, plays it low, gets another flip reset, gets a double flip reset from Mektos. And of all people to do it to, oh, that's got to feel good. Oh, someone clip that. Yeah, for Plot Twist over Sup, a lot of it came down to the 1v1s. I'm surprised Daniel put up a pretty good fight. They did hit a pretty nasty flip reset in that match, and I'm sure he's feeling pretty good that it was over Forky, who is known for doing flip resets and hitting those, but they just seem to lack the game sense that comes with it, and it's just that lack of exposure to the high-level play, especially against a team that's been playing together for a very long time. They ended up, like I said, going on against Affinity. The 1v1s are the ones that played out, and then Affinity ended up winning over G2 because Magic Bear is a monster. I did not cover any of this bracket. This was actually Leaf's bracket that he was handling. Apparently, PK didn't have too good of a job against Vision, as Vision was playing really well. A lot of it due to Beast Mode. If you guys don't know Beast Mode, he's a very young player that's known for being a rank X, rank S superstar, up-and-comer. But Kinsey, again, a lot of these ones players have capabilities, but those two together just so special. A lot of really fun matches between, but it's good to see. This is what I'm excited about again in the main event, is if the first 2v2 does not work, because if you guys don't know the main event and how those brackets work, it is going to be a best of 7 to my knowledge, but it is a bracket of 2v2s, a bracket of 3v3s, and it's single limb. So say it's game 2 of the match and they're just losing in their 2v2, and they've been using Beast Mode and Kinsey. Well, guess what? Now we can do Beast Mode in Rodoko or Kinsey and Rodoko, and we can keep swapping that throughout the series. So you're going to get these substitutions mid-game, which is going to make for really exciting matches. So that's what I'm looking forward to. It ends up working out for Vision for them. They ended up beating Team Meteor, who ended up playing really well. Those guys were hanging out in chat, and massive shouts to them for putting up a really good fight. Super close, but not quite. We then dropped to the lower bracket. I ended up covering Cloud9 versus Jamal Jabari, and this series was wild. So first things first, game 1, 5-6, OT 24 seconds. But what they don't tell you is that the game started with Jamal Jabari going up 5-0. Biggest comeback we've ever seen in competitive Rocket League history, to my knowledge, at this level. So, Cloud9 goes down by 5, ties it up, wins an OT. In this game with Jamal Jabari, Drees ends up disconnecting from the game, where LJ ends up scoring in a 1v2, and then he comes back and they end up holding on and winning. They then come back, Squishy does a really good 1v1 and ends up winning that. Then it comes back and they decide to go with a 3v3, which I was kind of surprised by. I thought they had a better chance in the 2v2, but they come back with 3v3, Cloud9 wins, they move on. On the other side of the bracket, Sonics ended up winning and moving forward against Cloud9. This one was more so the kind of the Squishy show. Squishy played relatively well. I was actually surprised to see Sathu playing all the ones rather than Dapper. Apparently Sathu had been feeling it. He'd been playing pretty aggressive. The difficulty though is what it came down to is Squishy's mechanics. You could tell like when he needed to stop on a dime, or if he needed to turn, or if he needed to reaggress. Squishy just had that game sense to put it away, especially in ones where it's really punishing. And even though Sathu had the ability to slow it down and play it, because he was behind in goals, he didn't really have the opportunity to slow down and try to play a different pace of the game. So difficulties for him there. It ends up Cloud9 moving on. And then Team Envy just is really good. I really like Reddles on this team, and I like the way it's going. Reddles went up probably like 4 or 5-1 in the 1v1 against Squishy. Demos and just being a nuisance and hitting a couple good angles. And then at that point, Squishy just kind of gave up and messed about. So reality was probably going to end like 7-3 or something like that. But Team Envy looking really good as well. Your 4 teams, Divine, Affinity, Vision, and Envy. So yeah, you're looking at about an even split again for RLRS. compared to RLCS or the bubble scene with 4 RLCS teams making it. And we'll probably do a more in-depth video on this in the future. Magic Bear versus Lion Blaze, I really want to watch. I think that matchup would be just sick. But I think it's going to come down to the ones. The ability to have a really good 1v1 player in your back pocket that if you need to get a guaranteed win or at least have a fighting chance in, even though it's a ton of pressure on the players, like I honestly believe that's why Affinity is going to go far in their bracket. Magic Bear alone is just a monster. That is going to wrap it though for the recap video. Hopefully it's nice and sweet for you guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, as always, drop them in the comments down below. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, give it a thumbs up, all that fun stuff. But again, I'm going to be out of town for the weekend. I'm going up into the Northwoods. I'm going to do some camping. I'm going to sit in a creek all weekend long. It's probably the most Midwestern thing I can say. Sip on some whiskey and just kind of hang out, sit in the water, and relax. But it's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna take a little bit of time to get away. We'll probably be back streaming on Twitch on Monday afternoon, so I'd love to see you guys in chat there. But until that time, enjoy the videos, daily uploads. We kind of told you the schedule at the beginning, and we will catch you next time. Peace.